What was that thing? What was that thing? No, fuck.
Previously on the Cracked and Crook'd Manse.
So any idiot could knock on the door, but you are sub-idiot and therefore could not?
Well, there was a horrible murder at that house. It spooked people, you know.
Listen, out-of-towner. I'm the law here, and I can tell you the Dodge brothers asked me to look at that house. The feller ain't there.
There appears to be a lot of plant growth, but absolutely no animal life.
The thing that draws my attention is the fact that there's no insects. It's like a rainforest, and there's nothing living here.
Who knows? We may come back.
You may survive.
He says, with barely disguised disdain.
I'm just jumping at shadows, gentlemen. Gentlemen?
Just reach out and touch the book that you feel drawn to.
In my mind's eye, I see a flash of his face. I see a flash of the workers I helped him find. I see a flash of milk pouring into a bowl, and I reach out my hand and slowly walk forward.
But your other hand makes contact with something very moist, very viscous in the wall cavity. Something unnatural. And as you pull it back, there's a kind of string of mucus comes out of the wall. It stinks of kind of rotting vegetables.
Whoa. Fuck, Jesus, get this here. Give me a cloth or something. Ugh.
Yes, of course. And can I find anything to help him wipe his hand? Like a tablecloth or something?
I'm just if there's a drape
Yeah.
or anything, I'm just gonna fucking
Yeah, there's curtains.
run over to the curtains and just Jesus Christ.
As you wipe it off, you then see how mouldy the curtains are.
Oh, fuck, God. Oh, this is making it worse. I've got New York.
What is this tube that you have removed from the wall?
I don't know. Give me a second. I just put my hand through the Jolly Green Giant's fucking stomach or something.
Don't say things like that.
Jolly Green Giant.
Horrible.
I'm trying
Let Dominic do that. Oh.
No!
Miss Damien! Miss Damien! I called for her because I'm quite excited that actually my experiment might have worked after all. Miss Damien!
You hear Dr. Bergman calling you.
Is that in the moment after the door is closed?
Yes.
So presumably it's pitch black.
Well, do you have your gas lamp?
I would have thought the gas lantern. Do you take it in with you? Yes, I suppose I did. I took it in with me. Yes, I suppose I took it in with me. Yes, that would make sense. And if there's some kind of platform that it could be on, or table, or group of hat boxes, or whatever it be, or is it on the floor?
It could be on the floor, or it could be on a stack of hat boxes.
It's probably unsafely on a stack of hat boxes. And if I hear him saying that, does he sound alarmed? He doesn't. He sounds celebratory. Just one moment, and then I'm going to do so. Now I'm thinking if I've taken trousers off, 1925, winter 1925. It's a luck check as to whether I'm wearing stockings. I would have thought I would be, but like woolen trousers.
Say you're wearing stockings or whatever.
Wearing stockings, yeah, that's fine. So stockings. So I think I've taken that off, which means I took my shoes off. So I think it's shoes on and go, and try the door. Fuck the jacket, even though it's freezing. I can come back for a coat.
What are you doing with the lantern? You taking the lantern?
Yeah, hell yeah. Lantern and shoes, but like as fast as I.
You give me a hard spot hidden roll.
Oh. Stop making us spot hidden things.
Fail it.
Among the coats.
Never make us stop spotting hidden things. I think I'm going to fail that. I'm not going to try and push it. I don't see anything untoward. I'm focused on trying to get some shoes on and Actually, do you know what? Shoes, cane, and lamp. That's what I want.
As you turn around to pick up your lantern, just before you turn to look at it, it goes out, and you hear the soft tss of something extinguishing it.
I scream.
You guys hear?
We hear the scream.
You hear the screaming.
Quickly, Sebastian, quickly!
Yeah, I run over to
The amphetamines have really sort of they've kicked in properly, and they're now doing what they're supposed to be doing. They sort of stabilised, been a bit up and down, but now I'm right on it, and I'm focused, and I'm running for the closet, and I grab the handle and I try and throw the door open.
Rosalie Damien comes tumbling out of the cloakroom.
Shoes in one hand, cane in the other, tumbling out.
Miss Damien.
Oh, doctor.
Are you all right?
Something turned. It blew the gas lamp out. I heard it go out.
One here, shining the torch in.
A draft, perhaps? This house is full of holes. And...
I don't know how far it goes back. I'm so stupid to try and change in there. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
No, not at all.
I'm trying to put my shoes on.
Why don't you come into the library with us? Sebastian has found something really very, very fascinating.
Are you serious, man?
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. I've got the little directional torch, not the gas lamp, but I've been pointing it in the cloakroom this time, and I want to maybe kick at the frame of the door and say, "Hey!" I mean, useless as that'll probably be, but just anyone in there?
There is no sound or movement.
Hey, Doc, you know when I said maybe take it easy with the Luger? Maybe you take it less easy for a minute.
Understood. And I take out the Luger and sort of
fire into the coats.
No, I just sort of waggle it at the coats like.
You hear that? You got a gun. Come out with your hands up.
I don't think you don't fire, do you?
No, I don't fire it.
You brule into it. You Daniel Brule into the gun.
I just sort of flail around with it a bit.
I might say, well, it's up to you, but I might say, here, Doc, may I? Or do you want to lead? Silently, sort of gesture.
I was into.
Do you want to hand me the gun, or are you happy to?
No, I'm very happy to hang on to the gun myself.
Fuck.
What are you suggesting, that we go in, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go in.
Yeah, me too. I don't imagine it's not very big, is it? So exactly, I'm just sort of going in. I think we're both doing the same thing, going in and moving all the coats aside, looking just to check there's no one hiding in there, in amongst the coats.
Give it a little stamp. Maybe there were rats or something, and the breeze blew out. I mean, we don't know.
It seems unlikely that there. I don't believe that there is anyone in there. I think probably it's
just a hysterical woman.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
I'm maybe slightly less on that scale, but I'm sort of in that area too, probably. So,
well, it's okay. We're all dead, but at least you two have proven you're idiots as well.
That's all that matters.
Hey, my parapsychological experiment just worked.
Maybe not so much Palmer. He seems all right.
While this is happening, Rosalie, can you give me a listen check?
I would love to listen. I think I'm standing at their shoulders with my cane up, looking nervously. Now, back into my 3-inch heels. Is it worth a push? Is it worth some luck? How good am I at listening? Where has my character sheet gone? These are the questions that we all ask ourselves.
On a daily basis.
Ah, damn it, that's just too high for luck.
Shite.
I have failed that. I am going to push it by... I think I find myself doing that thing where I'm hugging... I'm not hugging close to them in that sense, but I'm really too close to them. And I stop, and I close my eyes, and I lower my shoulders, I stretch my neck out, and I stretch my arms out, and I just focus on the house. And then I put my cane down, lean on it, as I would if I was about to lead a dance class, and I try and actually hear what is going on. So they're pushing into the cupboard without me. I've now stayed in the central chamber. And thank God that worked. But that's an excellent success. That's a 0-5.
You hear a bump and a smash, and it comes from, you guess, the room directly above you.
Did the other two react?
They haven't heard it. They're too busy
Scouring.
intimidating these coats.
Can I very quickly stealth to the bottom of the stairs?
Yes.
Sneak.
A panther.
Also a pass. Not great, but 22 on a 36.
So you get to the foot of the stairs.
And is there anything? Can I see anything up there? Is there anything like that extra vantage or?
You see up the stairs. There's, it goes up to the landing. But
Nothing untoward is revealed.
no, you can see that the banisters appear to be slightly skew-if. They've gone a bit warped. But apart from that,
If there's any agency left in this already slightly overextended turn, I would love to hiss to the last man entering, which was the doctor, perhaps. Did you hear that?
No.
Something upstairs. I heard something moving upstairs.
By this point, have I got to the back of this closet? Have I found anything with my flashlight? Or is it...
no, it just seems to be coats. The further you go back, the damper and mouldier they are.
Right. But I'm sort of just like... Are they on like a rail hanging up, or are they on hooks?
Yeah, they're on hooks.
Okay, so I couldn't like slide them all.
No, you'd have to sort of like swing them or...
Yeah, so I've been swinging a few of them, and I've, sort of got to the back with the torch, had a look on the floor, have a look up. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. I'm particularly thinking of up, but that's metagaming, so...
I just sound mad.
doesn't seem to be anything in there.
Okay.
I say, Palmer, quickly. Miss Damien believes there's someone upstairs.
Okay. I sort of come out, and I'm like, nothing in there. Must have been a breeze or something. It happens easily.
I heard something fall.
Where? Upstairs.
Yes.
Let's go.
Wait. Sebastian, do you still have the cylinder that you plucked out of the wall?
Oh, yeah. I've just been using it to sort of push the coats aside. I've sort of forgotten what I was holding. This thing.
Does it...
She looks wide-eyed at you both, at the word cylinder plucked out of the wall.
Sebastian found this in the library. I must admit, I did practice some little parapsychological experiments that I had been tinkering with in my mind. But the work was all Sebastian's. Really, he really put his mind to the task and wrenched this thing out of the wall. It was a very impressive show of strength.
All right, Doctor, all right, but what if there's someone upstairs?
Yes, but I do not want to lose sight of what we might have discovered downstairs. Let's just keep this safe. And does it... Just quickly, I mean, this might be a little bit meta, but does it appear that the significance is the thing that has been removed rather than the place it has been removed from? Is it possible for me to tell that?
Yeah. It looks like it's a sort of, what are they called? Like a scroll, like a parchment.
Fine, okay, so we have with us the thing. We don't have to worry about what's left in the library. We have the thing that...
Potentially
discovered. Potentially.
I mean, you haven't opened it.
No. But we have. I was just a bit concerned that we'd left, like, I don't know, we'd just unlocked a door and we hadn't gone into the door.
Oh, no.
Well, all right, Doctor. Do you know what's in it?
No, but let's keep this safe and follow your ears upstairs.
I think she looks at Palmer for an alliance of whether this is the right thing to do. She's now sort of torn between information and threat.
What do we think? If there is someone here, could just be a raccoon. If there is someone here, we should...
I wondered...
What's the use in not letting them know we're coming? We don't want to get shot. We don't want to shoot anyone. So, let's make some noise on our way, yeah?
It's a good idea. Are you armed, Palmer?
I'm not, currently. I don't know.
Not notably, anyway.
I didn't bring a weepon with me, so...
Yeah.
Would you like me to go out in front?
Very, very well. I think it's a good idea that Well, Doctor, why don't you keep hold of your cylinder there, and keep the Luger as backup, and Sebastian and I will lead up the stairs. She says, readying her cane with a deft forward flick, like an actor preparing for a saber fight.
Well, if you're quite sure.
Oh, very sure.
So I let them lead on.
So I take the stairs, I roll, make sure my sleeves are tucked up, get slightly into the stance of a boxer. Not really, but just stretch out the old guns. And I want to, as we get to the landing, just be like, anyone up here? We're coming through, so you best let us know if you're here. And just start walking very confidently towards the room, around towards the room which would have been above the cloakroom.
Yes, you get to the top of the stairs. There's doors to your right. There's a door in front of you, and there are two doors to the left at the end of the landing. The landing itself goes around in a sort of square, and at the other sort of behind you, as you sort of turn, you can see it. There's two shuttered windows that would presumably afford very nice views over the front lawn, and there's a sort of a couple of couches there, and a little occasional table. It's clearly a sort of lounge area. But the door you head to, or where you think the sound is coming from, is at the top of the stairs. You do a left, so you're heading west, and at the end of the landing on the left, there is a door.
I think to be sure, I turned.
It was the room that was directly above where you were.
Yeah, I turned to Madame Damien, sort of this one, silently.
Do I? I mean, hard to say. It's so hard to say at this point. I heard it above me. That's all I can tell you. You know how it is.
Well, this place is falling apart anyway, and I want to kick the door through.
I'm just catching up. I hung back on the steps to just have a little bump of coke. So I'm really buzzing at this point. Everything's very exciting in a very good way. I want to keep that going.
Good.
Yeah.
But I'm just at this point. I'm like let's just get stuff open and light in this place. Like, it's fucking rotting anyway. There's no need to be coy.
Good plan.
We've already shouted, so yeah. I put my foot, kick the door through.
Okay. So who's where? Sebastian Palmer's just kicked the door through. Where's Rose at this point?
You were the one behind me?
I think, yeah, but like not more than sort of, I'd say 2 or 3 meters away from him.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bergman's on the stairs taking coke.
Just reaching the top of the stairs, gun drawn.
In that case...
Sniffing coke off the barrel of my Luger.
Absolutely.
Can Dr. Bergman give me a spot hidden roll?
Yeah, because he's lingering behind.
Well, I have amazingly succeeded.
Yes.
Deal with that in 1 second.
I could make it. I could actually make it a hard, if that would be advantageous.
No, regular success is more than enough. However, for Sebastian Palmer, the door is locked. So you're trying to kick the door open?
Yeah, at the lock side.
Yeah.
I know how to kick a door.
Can you give me a hard strength roll?
Yeah, I've been rolling very badly tonight, but it should be.
We're doing terribly. We are doing terribly. That's one of our first few successes we've had.
4. So it's just a regular success. It's not a hard success. I've been rolling so badly, I'm sort of scared to push. Well, I can't push it.
You could spend the luck if you want.
I could spend the luck, but it's quite a bit of luck. It was just a regular success.
Oh.
I've already fucking got covered in gunk. I'm going to push it because I imagine a fail is going to injure me somehow anyway, because you don't kick something really hard without some damage. So I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it by, as I sort of, I go to boot by the lock, but then just before I do, I sort of give it a little press with my foot, and it feels a bit, there's not much give, so I back up right to the banister, and I go for, rather than the casual thing, I go for a Sparta kick, this is Cthulhu, and just put everything I have into it.
Awesome.
And immediately break my leg and die.
He paints a real picture.
18
broken leg is what I was thinking.
on a 65 strength.
The doctor sees Sebastian Palmer lean back on the banister, and you see it kind of start to sag under his weight. But just before it breaks, he charges forwards like a cannonball, goes up in the air and brings his body down diagonally against the door, sort of leg first, and it smashes off its hinges. You know, the lower hinge just buckles, and the entire door swings at an odd sort of 45-degree angle inwards. You hear wood splinter, and but it's a kind of sort of soft splintering, like the wood's a bit moist. And as you step into a room that is covered in dust. There is a shattered pot at your feet that looks like it's been knocked off a plinth at the wall. The rest of the room is thick with pots, vases, statuettes, strange little idols, musical instruments, objets d'art from all over the world. It's clearly Cornthwaite's sort of stash from his travels. Some of them look incredibly priceless. Some look almost like tourist tat. Some are very basic and simple. One is, the first thing you see as you walk in is a small sort of Peruvian retablo, the sort of the wooden diorama set. It seems to be a picture of people hung upside down with their throats cut. And underneath it, in very small letters, it says Pistacos.
Oh God!
I killed myself immediately.
Sounds far-fetched to me.
Yeah. So from what I can see immediately as I step through after this kick is I see the smashed pot, and then this room extends further. And is it just one sort of things along the edges and one room? There's nowhere hiding places?
Yeah, no, it ends... it's got windows on the right-hand side and a window opposite. But yeah, there's nothing else.
Right. So first off, I whisper out to... I don't even bother whispering now. I just say to Madame Damien, it's open. I'm just going to crack the windows. No sign of anyone. If
either you, Sebastian, or Rosalie wants to do an anthropology or archaeology roll, you can do. As you take in the sort of the sights of these.
I will walk in.
Yeah, I was going to open the windows first so we had a bit more light.
Well, exactly, that's what I was thinking, is as the light streams in from his, unless anything is to stop him from doing that. But I think as that happens, I think I begin to study what the room is. But I sort of turn my body so that I can see some of the things that I'm looking at, but I'm also conscious that I can't sense the doctor is near me.
No, he's not.
And I can't see him, kind of. But in the meantime, I'm much more interested in what's actually in this room. And I do have some anthropology. So let's see if I can...
Don't we all?
I mean, this is a long shot, guys. But why the heck not? Ooh. Do I want to spend some luck? Ooh, it's quite a lot of luck. 10 luck. No. She's baffled. She's fascinated, but she's baffled. Well, I can't make head nor tails of it, Mr. Palmer, but I do believe that this is quite some trove. What on earth was this man up to?
All you see are the idols of dead gods staring at you with a sort of flat hostility.
Yeah, this place gives me the creeps.
Meanwhile, outside, Dr. Bergman, you've noticed something. As soon as they kick the door open and they move inside, maybe it's this new cocaine you're on, but it's sort of...
Peruvian marching powder.
Yeah. It's, the walls seem to shift slightly. The wallpaper has a very geometric sort of repeating pattern, sort of paisley, and you could have sworn they're moving, sort of shifting.
It's not yellow, is it?
It is a bit yellow. And actually, after a while, you start to realise that it's not the wallpaper design that's shifting or that is in any way hypnotic. It's the wall itself. It's sort of very slowly, very gradually sort of bulging and sagging and shifting. And the effect is quite nauseating. Can you give me a sanity roll?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, all right.
Yes, all right.
That's a fail.
Yes.
So, you lose.
Who's the one of us who least enjoys going utterly insane? Who goes utterly insane?
You lose.
You love it. You love it, Dan.
You lose a point of sanity, and can you give me a luck roll?
Yeah, well, yes. Can I ask you a question as I do my luck roll? Does it appear that this bulge in the wall, that I can track the area that it's bulging, is it as if something is moving behind the wallpaper, or is it more vague than that?
What a disturbing thought.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Quite.
And as you think it, you can think of nothing else.
Fuck me sideways. Holy crap. That's not when I wanted to fumble my luck roll. Wait, hang on. My luck's 55 and I rolled a 99. Is it only that is a fumble?
No, that's I think a fumble's only on 100 over 50.
Oh, yes,
Right,
of course, you're right.
So it's not a
Right.
fumble. But it's a very bad fail.
It's very, very bad.
So, as you're transfixed, you find yourself leaning forwards, just staring at this movement in the wall. You're convinced now that there is something in the cavity moving. And at that moment, you fail your luck roll, and you feel suddenly the banister that you've been leaning forwards on cracks, twists, and you fall forwards. You can give me a jump roll to halve any damage from falling if you want to.
He did warn us jump would be useful in this.
or a depth roll, actually.
Well, Dex is obviously better than jump. That I failed that.
Okay.
Very badly.
Tits.
You take 1 hit point of damage as you land onto the floor of the hallway.
I'm a very, very weak man. That 1 hit point of damage puts me on 6 hit points.
Surely he gets a bonus die for just how full of drugs he is.
Yeah, true.
I don't think you can be injured when you're that full of drugs.
I think maybe he doesn't feel it.
No.
Yeah. It's very
It does
like
put me a little bit closer to death.
it's very cartoon-like.
He
Slap.
steps out, looks down, and then falls like Wile E. Coyote.
And I just bellow, Scheiße!
Doctor!
Yeah, I assume we hear the shizer and the crash.
Oh,
so
yes, very much.
I spin round and I run back.
I've finished opening the windows in that room, so I just run back out as well, yeah.
Did the whole banister go?
Yeah. Well, a section of it, yeah.
So I felt like a story.
Well, I imagined you were sort of 3/4 of the way up the stairs.
Oh, I see. Okay, right.
But
Yeah, I get to pull myself up into a crouch, and take a little swig of my vodka, and put it away and brush myself down.
I think Rosalie runs to the top of the stair, but instinctively doesn't step on it just in case, and says, "Doctor, is everything all right? Are you hurt?"
Yes, just a little sore, and mainly my pride, if I'm honest. I think I just leant back a bit hard on the banister. Don't worry about me. Is there anything upstairs to take a look at?
Well, let's have a look at you. Is there any obvious damage, or is it just basically full damage? Is he bleeding or anything? Could I do a first aid?
Are you going down the stairs?
Yeah, I think my instinct is to go down the stairs. I mean, my whole job is predicated off, workers having been injured, and it's my instinct to go down to him.
I think she lingers there for a moment, but then she reluctantly follows.
okay.
So yeah, I want to get down to him and sort of say, don't move just yet.
In fact, can I linger halfway up so that I've still got a sort of eye on the balcony or the landing?
Well, actually, are you the last one out of the trophy room?
Danann's character.
I would be, actually. I was going to try and overtake, but I may see something on my way out, of course.
No, that's fine.
But I've got eyes on the room. Was I? No, I was the first one out.
Okay.
But I was lingering at the top of the stair.
Yeah, I mean, the damage is mostly superficial. He's not bleeding.
Okay.
I believe the damage is mostly superficial.
Yeah, okay, Doc. You're a doc of mines. I know my way around a body here and there. It looks like you're right, though. I think, you just be careful getting up. Like, support the head. Or, make sure he's up and all right. Just, take it easy. What happened? Did someone push you, or did you just lose your step?
No, I was leaning back on the banister to observe the wall over there, and the banister just
You like your walls, don't you?
Yes. Well, there's something quite strange going on with this building. But anyway, the banister gave way under my weight, which is not very considerate, I'll be honest. And I tumbled.
Oh, yeah, you say not important, but what's this weird thing about the walls? You keep mentioning them. Is there something we should know, or...?
While those two are having that conversation, I'm going to sneak back up to the corner of the staircase. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure how the layout works, but if there's a sort of, as the staircase meets the upstairs, is there a corner that I can look round to see if there's anyone sneaking around, or bits of plaster falling down, or...
where have you snuck to? You've snuck to
the top of the stair.
Okay, yeah. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Yes, that's a yes. That's it's not hard. Oh my god, it's only just. I'm thinking I'm a better character than I am. Yep, that's a pass, but by 1.
You're looking around and you've got this strange feeling. Do you remember earlier you asked if anyone could, if you were being overlooked? You now can't get rid of this feeling that you're being watched. Your gaze unconsciously goes to the ceiling, where you can see there's a big patch of damp plaster, a huge sort of grey shape on the ceiling, and some of the plaster has come away elsewhere, that you can see the actual exposed boards. Beyond it, the darkness. You can't help but feel the darkness watching you. Some movement out the corner of your eye makes your head whip round, and you see that it's just a bit of wallpaper slowly peeling off the wall. It just takes another few inches, it goes down a few more inches than it already has. And then you notice that there's a mass to the wall, like an air bubble under the wallpaper. And slowly it seems to be shifting, very slowly and strangely. Can you give me a sanity roll?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Will everyone stop looking at the walls?
Yeah, just look at the floor. Don't look at the ceiling or the walls, for guts.
Yeah.
I think so. That was a 0.6, so that's a very good result. But I think one of the things that keeps her most sane are the old absinthe days that she doesn't really talk to other people about. She hasn't really confessed much about it ever to people, but various hallucinations. And I think the fact that she knows that this doesn't feel the same, there's been no... Who knows, maybe there was some kind of effect of the dust of the house or whatever has triggered something, but I think to her, she goes, but I haven't had any absinthe. So I know that this is strange. And even though she was sort of probably drawn slightly towards it initially, she begins to slink back down. But she slinks back down in the same way that imagine, if you will, a sort of drama student committing to the idea of performing the notion of retreating from a celestial horror. She's sort of crawling her way back down the side of always to the wall, not to the balustrade. She's not on the banister, but she's sort of crawling her way back down, and she begins to sort of slightly express it with a kind of serpentine movement of her limbs, and also kind of quite quietly as she can.
So on the success of your sanity roll, you don't lose any sanity points.
I know, but that's almost a sort of involuntary action, isn't it? But to her, I think it's just...
down the stairs like a bad actor.
When you're as old as her, she goes back down the stairs like a bad actor.
like a squid.
It's like a silent movie actor.
Yeah,
Love it.
like a messenger in an RSC history play.
Oh yeah, whose agent is in.
Trying to stay on just long enough to get that reaction as they start reading.
Little backwards gallop, pivot.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, you deep down you're convinced that what you saw was just a bubble in the wallpaper. The wallpaper's coming off all over the place by the looks of things. What do you do next?
He had just asked me a question. Perhaps I managed to kind of bluff my way a little bit until Rose's peculiar descent down the stairs sort of drew attention elsewhere. So I think perhaps I got away without actually explaining what I was seeing in the walls and why I kept looking at the walls. If that's fair.
I think you did, yeah. And maybe thrown from that line of inquiry by her arrival.
Yeah.
So to say, well, I think the doctor here, I mean, we all need to watch our step. Watch the ceilings, watch the floor. I mean, this place is falling apart, but I think we'll be all right. Just, tell me if you feel any twinges or anything. Meanwhile, I think we go back to plan one. We continue, maybe we do the second door upstairs, since we were there before, and then we carry on with the house.
Yes, I would love to have a look upstairs, to have a look into the room that you two have already opened.
Yeah, I mean, Doc, there's some stuff in there that I think, I don't know about Madame Damienne here. She probably would know more than me, but there's some stuff in there I think either of you might find interesting.
But, it's funny that you say that, Sebastian. I can't help but think that, this place is falling apart, right?
Yeah.
What does this here scroll holder that you have here say? This cylinder?
Well,
let's have a look.
I'd be interested in knowing a little bit more before. And she keeps casting her eyes up as if she's checking the walls around the top of the stairs.
Maybe we should have a little look at the scroll.
I feel like information might be useful at this stage.
So I think I have it. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I take it out and carefully unroll it. I'm thinking that everything in this house is falling apart, so I'm going to be very careful. I don't want it to disintegrate.
There's a yellow piece of paper that's been stuffed into this tube.
Okay.
And as you unfurl it, you see that it's... as you unfold it, you see it's been covered on both sides with a very closely packed scrawl, but it's got kind of damp, so a lot of the ink has bled into itself. It's almost illegible, except the signature, AC. You can decipher a little bit of it, and though it doesn't piece together any kind of sense, you can give me a psychology roll if you'd like.
I will definitely do that, but first I say AC. Now, of course, this could be Arthur Cornthwaite, but looking at the age of this, could equally be a certain Arthur Kervin.
Kervin was my first thought.
As a player, I'm like, and perhaps it's the same person. I will do a psychology. Do a psychology roll.
You can do a combined psychology and spot hidden roll. So you roll once, and if you pass on both, you'll get the effects of both.
I've passed both. I've passed. That's an extreme success on my psychology, and a regular success on my spot hidden.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
Your psychology reveals that, you detect in these sort of paranoid ravings on this yellow piece of paper that whoever was writing it was suffering from a severe emotional imbalance. They were obviously, basically, losing it. It's definitely paranoid.
Played way too many role-playing games.
But you also realise that having seen Arthur Cornthwaite's handwriting in the book at the library, where he'd written his name inside it, you're fairly confident that this is a different hand to his.
So I relay that. Talk about this emotional turmoil that the writer of this piece was going through, and I mentioned, but the handwriting is definitely not that of Arthur Cornthwaite, based on his signature in the book in the library.
So maybe this Arthur Cohen.
I believe that leaves us with Arthur Curwen as most likely.
Although seems like everyone around here was called Arthur, so maybe there's some Arthur Krislovsky that we haven't met yet.
Or cornflakes.
Yeah, Arthur Frosties.
And could I do? I might be sort of pushing my luck here a bit in terms of how many rolls you let me have on one thing, but I'd quite like to roll occult on it to see whether there's anything about it which appears to be like a curse or any kind of spell or anything like that. And I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to pass that.
Having passed it, you are confident that there is nothing about this that is occult.
Okay, great. Well then, what on earth is it? Something very boring.
Well, it's mainly the paranoid ramblings of a madman.
Okay.
But
That
indecipherable.
is now largely illegible.
Yeah. But has still been, well, yeah, it's probably been damaged since it was thrust in
But it's been hidden.
the hole in the wall. But it might have got damp since it was hidden in the wall, to be fair.
Yeah.
When my arm went through, it got covered in sludge, so maybe it was of importance, and then...
It's been hidden in the wall, either so nobody could find it for some reason, or... Well, that's why I wondered whether it had some occult purpose, because it embedded in the fabric of the house. Right?
I think on the words, well, that's to say, on the concept of the embedded of the fragments,
Embedded in the fabric of the house.
I think she takes her cane and she triple stamps it on the floor, and she imagines jazz playing high and wild in the air, and she says, "My friends, I think we may have lost track of the rhythm. What are we here for? I think this house is haunted. There's no other word I can find for it. I'm so sorry. I know I sound like I'm half crazy, but bear with me. There's always a way to work your way through a haunted house. Let's throw open those shutters. Yes, I agree with you there, Sebastian. And also, Dr. Bergman, there's going to be an answer that we're going to find, not just madman's riddles, but I'm concerned. What do we do now? The place is falling around our ears."
Well, I would say, well, Doctor, you're the most learned amongst us. What's your opinion?
We're trying to find where Cornthwaite is, yes?
Yes, trying to locate him or find evidence of his death.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we're looking for a body or a...
She's looking around at the house, as you're saying.
Yes. I think given how the state of disrepair of this building, it would not be beyond the realms of possibility that he's been crushed by falling masonry or the like.
Yeah.
However, I must point out that this building is very, very peculiar. The premature decay, forgive me, I believe we have all noticed strange occurrences within the walls or ceiling, or heard things that perhaps are not...
I hadn't seen or heard anything, but I trust you. I agree it's unstable, yeah.
I saw a strange bulge upstairs.
I have also seen...
Sorry about that.
No.
I have also seen...
It was after you went down, Mr. Sebastian.
I'm sure it was.
I have also seen strange movements within the walls, and Mr. Palmer, I know you are a man of logic, but you yourself, your hand went within the wall and came out covered in some sort of strange
Got
mucus.
this gunk on me, yeah. Smells like rotting veg.
I'm telling you, my friends, this place is haunted. I ain't never seen a haunting before, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But back in the Bayou, they would know. I used to dance to music that was about the banishing of ghosts. You got to believe me here. This is a dangerous place. This is a thin place. This is a place where you can step over into the other side. I believe it.
I very much agree with you, at least that this is a dangerous place. But tell me, should we leave? Or do we think...
Well, I'm happy to keep checking the place on my own. If you two don't feel so happy about that, you can wait out by the car.
No, we throw these shutters open with you. That's what I think. But from now on, we all stay together. No lagging back.
We will stay together. We will go room to room and throw the shutters open and be very specific. We are looking for...
I need a jacket, my friend. I need a jacket, gentlemen.
Oh, please. Please.
No. I just mean like from the cupboard there. Because it's cold. And I'm going to take a jacket. So would you come with me?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll head back to the cupboard if they're coming with me.
Yeah.
Because he was steadily sort of getting to me. I was getting the shivers slightly. Because she's skeletally thin, remember? She's very, very tall, very thin. And she sort of scrabbles around her bag, pulls her bag out. And she's nervous about that cupboard. And then she puts a tweed jacket on and sort of snuggles into it, and then she's ready.
Shall we continue clockwise? The next door, I believe, is this one, opposite the entrance to the library.
Perfect.
Inside is a large area devoid of furnishings. There's the room is dominated by a polished wooden floor. However, at the edges there is clear water damage. There are 3 windows along 2 windows opposite and 1 to your left. But there are no other doors here. This looks like it was some sort of ballroom, perhaps.
Ballroom? Well, Miss Damian, if you felt an urge to show us, cut her caper, I believe this is a place to do it.
Is there any sort of sense of the mystery of the greatest art that causes such sacrifice, or is it just a ballroom? Can I hear anything? Is there anything unusual?
No. It's an empty room essentially.
Let us throw open the shutters.
I'm sorry, Dr. Bowman. I'm not feeling anything. And then I will join them in throwing open the shutters.
Okay.
Not really the time or place. We'll dance when we pick up our paychecks.
Could I just have a little look out the window? I haven't looked outside since we've been in here, just to get an idea of what time of day it is. I can't remember what time.
It's getting on for late afternoon now.
Okay.
It's threatening rain.
As I gaze out, do I notice anything different about looking outside from when we turned up?
No.
Okay, good.
And in this room, it's pretty plain. The only thing is just shutters, really, in a huge ballroom. Pretty clear what it's there for. Okay, great. Yeah, move on. Let's get this over with.
Where do you go next?
No other exits out of this?
No. You can only go back the way you came.
So working clockwise, I guess we now would be going to the door that comes off the north passage?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're by the back door.
By the back door?
Okay, yeah.
I think I can't resist a pirouette as I go out. I just sort of spin and then exit.
So this is a long, narrow room, and it's clearly the kitchen. There's a stove, sort of in the big fireplace. There are doors. There are 3 doors to your right along the south wall, and there are 2 doors opposite on the east wall, and 2 windows in the north wall.
Okay. I say throw open those shutters.
Yeah, go on with that.
So 3 doors in this wall, 2 doors in the east wall. Wow, lots of doors.
Are there any doors which, in my head there are, I'm trying to work it out, but are there any doors which seem obviously opening out onto the spaces we've already been, or onto not necessarily the spaces we've already been, but the east corridor? Is it the east corridor?
That would seem to make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Possibly.
Possibly, of course, yeah, but just thinking about where we try and loop round first before getting stuck in some demented madman's.
Yeah. I would like to have a little look around the kitchen, primarily to see if I could find like a larder, maybe have a look in an oven, just to see if there's any evidence of someone having eaten here recently.
Just to check whether it's coal or bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see now.
Is there any evidence of someone having cooked food here within the past year?
Yeah, I'd quite like to do the same because, I mean, it was my instinct early on that, there's a possibility drifters or, like, squatters might have taken over the place. I want to see if there's been any activity because if there hasn't, I've seen no signs so far apart from that smashing thing, but in my head I've put that down to plasterboard falling off the ceiling.
I think at the entrance to the kitchen I've stopped and I'm thinking about the ballroom. And I just start to just kind of work out a few little moves that are in my mind about the steps of a new piece that might be forming.
Beautiful.
That could express some aspect of what it would be like to experience this place artistically.
So, what did you say, Dan? You're looking... Dan's looking... Dr. Bergman's looking for evidence of a larder.
Or it's a sort of kitchen area, is it? It looks.
Yeah. So, looking around, there's a stove. There's shelves with stuff on. The first door on your right, it looks smaller. It looks like it's going to be some kind of another sort of walk-in cupboard kind of thing.
Maybe I'll open that.
Yeah, I'll be joining him in that. And I'm also, I don't know if you want me to do an idea roll as my character for this, but I reckon it's safe to say I've had a sort of thought. I'd like to look and see if there's any salt in the kitchen at all. Like, whether there's an excessive amount or a small amount, see if there's anything to do with why he might have ordered so much in bulk.
Well, you go and look at a shelf, at one of the shelves that seems to have sort of condiments on it. You can see that it's got, there's canisters, 4 metal canisters. They're labelled flour, sugar, tea and coffee, but there is a noticeable gap.
Right. Oh, wow, okay. That's interesting.
And as you're looking around, you can give me a spot hidden roll. Meanwhile, Dr. Bergman, as you open that door, you're hit with this terrible rotting meat smell. Sort of sickly sweet, putrefied smell of meat.
I know the one.
Love it. I failed that spot hidden, by the way.
Well, I suppose I cover my nose and mouth and see if I can find the source of this appalling smell.
So there's a large icebox along the floor. The shelves are all got, drier goods, some of which have moulded. But yeah, it's coming from the icebox.
It might just be rotten meat.
What have you got there, Doctor?
As you can tell, there's a rather unpleasant smell coming from this part of the kitchen.
That's putting it lightly.
I suspect that there is some rancid meat in this icebox, but I hate to be morbid, but I think perhaps given the size of it, is it the size that it could potentially contain a body?
Yeah.
I think it might be worth us...
It's a brand you've not heard of, the Spilsbury Icebox.
Spilsbury Toast Boy.
Great reference.
So I think we should open this icebox.
She takes out a handkerchief and she says, "I think I agree."
I know it has to be done, but I don't want to do it.
But it's so suggestive, isn't it, Doctor?
Okay, well, I don't mind opening it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say I hold my breath, but maybe it's, as you say that, as Sebastian says that, I say, if you wouldn't mind, I have quite a weak constitution, and
I put my hand on the doctor's arm as well, and slightly pull him back. I'm not strong.
Back away, gagging somewhat, and light a cigarette.
My constitution's not great either, Doc, but luckily most of that's from smoke damage, so I can't smell that much.
That's very convenient.
I know, right?
I light a Beckstein to try and just like create some other smell in this room other than this rotting meat smell.
Okay, well, I'll go up and open it.
You open the icebox to reveal the puddle of melted ice in the bottom, which is now just stagnant water. A fair few cuts of fairly ordinary but completely rancid meat.
Can I tell at a glance? It just looks like what, like steak or like pork cutlets or something?
Yeah, exactly. That a mix of stuff.
Yeah. Long pig. Cool. Yeah, it's just fucking rancid shit. I put the lid back on.
But yes, do give me a constitution roll.
Yeah.
All of us?
Well, if it's just...
I guess I was closest to it, but...
Yeah.
It's true. We chose not
That's it. Unleashed a wave of miasma. I guess it's me. Oh, fuck, that's really lucky, because my constitution is low. I got a 5 on a 35.
Nice. You hold down the bile and shut the lid.
Yeah, smells like my wife's cooking. Nah, I'm just kidding. She's actually great. Have I told you about her? Anyway, maybe another time. I guess I'll have a quick scan of the shelves in this little weird pantry bit. There's no salt here either, I imagine, but the absence of it on those shelves is... I'm going to tell them. I'm going to step out and close that door and then say, whatever he did order that salt for, it's the only seasoning that's missing in this kitchen. And that was a tiny pot, which makes me think perhaps it wasn't to do with gridding roads. I mean, you ain't gridding a road with a salt shaker.
What did you say, Doctor? Wasn't it warding rituals, witches, demons, and ghosts?
Many different occult uses.
That's a heckload.
Naturally, it's all superstitious behavior, but
this place isn't right, friends. It just isn't right.
No. Should we
carry on?
Should we check the other two?
Wait. Let me just check in with you both here. The Dodges are saying that if we find the body, that'll ease their... I mean, not the body, but if we find our man, that'll ease their problem.
Yes.
I don't like this place.
Oh, I'm not a fan myself.
But the thing that concerns me is 2 families have died here already. What if somebody tries to buy it? I mean, it's fallen apart, so that doesn't make no sense, but...
I could always file an injunction. I have contacts through my union men. Clearly not fit for residency. I know lots of landlords who will try and palm off young families with places that are falling apart. It's just one of the stresses that working men face these days.
As he's saying this, I realise that I'm thinking about the vines that seemed to come from the subterranean location.
Yeah, there was this family, the Vines, very hard workers. One of them was from the subterranean location, and they got put up in this tenement flat. It was not fit for purpose. I'm just rambling about union stuff.
I can't think why I'm thinking about this subterranean location, but I am.
They were from this subterranean location.
And I basically interrupt him and I say, but wait a minute, I saw that strange plant from down below.
Yeah.
What if this whole house is being affected? Because you remember, I told you these plants ain't right. We should. It's
how to experience it.
Well, it's winter, and you should not have tropical plants out in your garden in winter. Not in these parts.
No. You think that's why the house is falling apart? They're sucking all the juices out of the walls or something?
More like pumping the juices into the wall.
Okay, I mean, if those two carry on like that, I'm going to have to make a sanity check, because I haven't really...
I'm going to have to make a sexuality check.
I just immediately...
She goes pale. She goes very pale.
And I just throw open the next door along.
Yeah, good, nice.
Just for something to do.
It opens onto the dining room. There is a silver service laid out, but it's a table for one. You can see that there are thin slivers of broken glass on the floor next to the table. It looks to be the remnants of a pepper shaker. The walls are cracked. thin little sort of hairline fractures all through the plaster.
Are there any rooms leading off from that room?
Yes, there's a door opposite.
So I would imagine the door opposite goes back into that eastern corridor, probably.
That would be a sensible conclusion.
Looking at the walls, you say they're cracked.
Indeed.
That's not a way that you've described a room previously. So is it fair to ask you, is this room in a better condition than the rest of the house, or a worse condition, or actually just quite similar?
Quite similar, really.
Okay.
There's still damp in the ceiling. You can see it. And there have been a few cracks in the plaster,
right,
in the hallway and things.
So I'm going to, well, unless you want to do something as the first person into the room, I'm going to sort of walk past and sort of say back to you guys as I go to open the shutters. Are there shutters in this room? Or is it?
No, there are no windows in here.
Ah, okay.
Too far back,
It's right.
Well, I'm going to walk over to the opposite door, assuming it does lead out into the eastern corridor. And as I'm doing so, I'm going to sort of call back. Honestly, if I agree with you, this house is a state and it's probably dangerous. We found that already, but you know, I'm pretty nimble on my feet for what I look like. I'm happy to go through the rest of it myself if you want to raid outside.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Immediately fall through the floor and get impaled on my own leg bone. But yeah, I basically, as I'm saying that, I want to be walking to the opposite door to...
Can I do a psychology check on him for that?
Yeah.
Because that's the second time he said that now. And I'm starting to think, why does he want to be here on his own? It's a horrible place. And I have no idea.
And I would like to do a spot hidden, specifically looking for exactly the same thing that I've been looking in every room with no success, which is there any, how long ago did it look like someone was sat down here eating a meal? That kind of thing. Can I do a spot hidden?
Yeah.
No good.
It does occur to you that there is a pepper shaker broken on the floor.
Yeah.
But its counterpart is nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I don't know if I noticed that on the way past, but I mean, I've already made that connection, that being in the other room, the only seasoning missing. It's, yeah.
My friends, I am not a superstitious man.
Just to be clear, have I opened the other door by this point? Or am I still walking across the room? Because I was just calling back and then walking to open the door.
Yeah.
And does it lead out onto the eastern corridor?
It does,
as we suspected?
Yeah.
Okay, great. At which point I, come back to rejoin with them.
I'm not a superstitious man, as I've explained. I think on a couple of occasions my interest in the parapsychological is more in terms of the untapped potential in the human mind. But having said this, it appears to me that someone in this house felt that salt would defend them. We have come to the house not very well armed in any sense, but certainly armed without salt. Might now be a good time for us to hop back in the car, head back to the boarding house, spend a good night's sleep, regroup, buy, how you say in America, a shitload of salt, and come back tomorrow morning refreshed.
Yeah, Doc, I mean, I don't know what you think, Miss Damien. Hey, listen, I've got all the time in the world for your stuff. I mean, you covered my eyes, you found me a cylinder. I've known ghosts in my time. But, I mean, I grew up in Dunleary. I had a family, some cousins, they lived down in Rathgar. They had a ghost lived with them called Corny. He ate their salt. He loved it. He ate their butter, their bread, and their salt. So I don't know what to say. I think there are different types of ghosts. We can do that if you want. But like I said, I'm happy to... Well, it'll take us another half hour to clear this place out. It doesn't look like there's anything here. I'm starting to believe he did go off on some expedition.
As he's saying, there doesn't seem to be that much here. Can I examine this broken pepper pot?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any indication of how it ended up on the floor, or is it just dropped or knocked, or?
Yeah.
Or is it shattered because someone threw it?
It's more Shattered, yeah. As if it's been knocked with force. Or in haste.
Oh, this isn't right. This is not right.
I mean, hey, we're a team. If you guys... sorry, madam and fella, if you want to head back and regroup, I got to admit, there's a bit of time pressure for I'm just thinking about my wife and kids. So maybe I'm being a bit rash, or maybe you're right. Maybe we should come back with some salt just in case. I have to admit, I ain't seen anything that doesn't remind me of some of the old tenements in Rathgar, you know, the crumbling walls, the peeling wallpaper. I've seen that. That's just bad landlordry. And I guess, you know, sometimes the rich have that too. You know, all their money's tied up in the land. They don't have much liquid. So, but if you're worried, we'll go back. You know, we're a team. I always think of my workers. Not that you're my workers, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? We're a team.
You can all give me a listen roll if you want.
Oh, God.
While you're having this conversation in the windowless dining room.
That's a hard success from me.
Ooh. Oh, no. Fail.
It's not hard, but it is a success. No, it is hard. It is hard.
Well, while Mr. Palmer's waxing lyrical
About the tenements.
And Mrs. O'Leary's salt-addicted ghosts, you two, you hear something else. What is your light source while you're in this room? By the way, did you relight the gas lamp? Do you still have it? Did you leave it in the?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I still have the flashlight.
Right.
I realise it's not got any windows. Sorry, which is one of the reasons I went through and opened the opposite door.
I suppose I was imagining there would be a bleed of light from the library, and that would get me to the cupboard. So then maybe once I was grabbing my jacket from the cupboard.
Well, it doesn't matter. As long,
maybe I just took the lamp then.
At least. Yeah. Okay, fine. So you've got the lamp. So the two of you hear a distinctive, on the other side of the wall, where the staircase is, you hear a distinctive creak.
That doesn't sound like plaster falling.
So that ain't me, that's the other two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as in from the main body of the house, that's where we're hearing that?
Yes. On the staircase.
On the staircase.
I look at Bergman and I say, "What is that?"
I'm just nodding to say, yes, I heard that.
And I'm still going. So the thing about, you know, the people who own these places, the rent is... What? Oh, sorry.
I think I'm going to go towards the sound with my cane held ready like a sword, but obviously it doesn't do that. But
so you're going into the corridor?
Or just
towards the sound, towards the wall.
Okay.
The stairs are behind the wall that doesn't have any doors in, right?
But we know that the door I opened loops round into that main hall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could I see if there's anything in the room I could pick up? Like, even if it's a chair leg, I could maybe...
Yeah, there's chairs, there's a plate, silver service, knives, forks, spoons.
Okay, I'll pick up a knife and fork, make a meal of it. No, I'll...
Tenderizer?
If there's a steak knife or something, I might just slip that.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
And then sort of walk as quietly as I can, trying to hear what they're hearing towards the door I opened into the east corridor.
So, just to be clear, Rose is listening at the wall.
I think I was just trying to... I mean, yes, effectively, I'm trying to work out where it is.
And you got a hard success on your listen roll.
Yes. Well, yes, I did. Yeah.
So, as you put your ear to the wall, which is slightly clammy against your skin,
Oh no!
you hear footsteps. Distinctively, it's footsteps on the stairs. But there's a noise, there's a sound, a very subtle sound, in between that and your ear. In the foreground, suddenly there's this sort of sound of friction, of movement. This sort of shifting of something against the wall.
Oh God! I'm going to try and jump away from the wall.
In fact, I think that might be a sanity roll.
Does it sound like there's something moving behind the wall? Is that what we're saying?
That's what you got the impression of, yeah.
This is why you should always aim to be the character with no listen and no spot hidden, because you don't get the sanity roll.
No, it's fail.
You lose a point of sanity.
Okay. So there's an involuntary action with that, isn't there? Is there?
Yeah, I think you probably jump backwards and crash into the table slightly, making a noise.
That was exactly what I was going to suggest. I leap away too far and come across her.
Like a startled gazelle.
The plate slides off the table, smashes. Just as
and I'm pointing as
Mr.
well.
Palmer is stepping through the door. What do you do?
Me?
Well,
I'm putting my head round the door first and then stepping through if I don't see anyone there. They both seem to be focused on sound out there, and I've just picked up this knife, so I'm on edge. I'm going to stay in the doorway, really.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
30. Spot hidden 25. No, don't see anything.
Coast's clear.
Oh, God. Cool.
I'm after. My original plan was to go up to the wall with the Luger and try and sort of track the sound. But just as Rose clatters into the table, I sort of realised that the element of surprise might be lost. So I sort of dashed for the door with my Luger out.
The south door or the north door?
The same door Sebastian has gone out in an attempt to cover him.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, I think as I hear the crash myself and he starts running for the door, I step further out into the corridor to give him space to come out, after me, knowing he's got a gun for starters, and just trying to sort of analyse what's going on in there,
So you're stood in this corridor, the two of you. What do you do?
I call back. Now I'm in the corridor. Call back and say, Miss Damien!
Yes?
Are you all right?
I don't know.
Stay with us.
You're right. I'm coming.
This is silly. What did you guys hear?
Footsteps.
Tell me exactly what you heard. What, through there?
On the stairs.
At which point I just start marching back towards the main hall where the stairs would end and just saying, who's there? Okay, you've had your fun. We're here. Okay, stop messing around. Stop smashing things. We're armed. We mean you no harm. I'm just saying all this stuff.
As soon as you start speaking, you look up the stairs, and on the top of the landing is the silhouette of possibly a man holding a gun.
I'm gonna try a dodge or a dex or something. I want to immediately, as I see the gun, get back into the corridor.
Okay.
Well, can we see it? I think my big question is, can we see it as well? Have we come round the corner with him, or are we?
Up to you.
I mean, if you were behind me, I imagine I'll jump back into the corridor and say, "There's a man with a gun," and then shout back, "Hey, put the gun down. There's no need for that sort of thing. We're friends. We're official. We've been hired to come here."
I would like to do a psychology roll on Sebastian Palmer to try and ascertain whether I think he's of sound mind.
And while that's happening, while he's analysing him with his expertise, I'd like to lunge forward to the full length of my lunge, using my cane to help support me.
At 17 feet.
Yeah, basically 17 feet. and see if I can see what he's seeing just round the corner. So, is that a dance check or is that a jump check?
I think the lunge is fine. Give me a spot hidden roll. How did you do on psychology?
Yeah, regular success.
He seems like he's telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be under the influence of any dissociative fugue.
Fine.
Nice. Yeah. Great. What a great line. 34 and a 39. I have spotted anything that is
hidden.
You do see this outline of a man holding a gun, but you recognise it.
Sheriff Whitford. You hold it right there.
This was an Apocalypse Players production. For more information about the podcast, go to apocalypseplayers.com. Thanks for listening.